Okay, World Cruisers, it is Tuesday, the 21st of October, 2025. We are in the port of Halifax, Nova Scotia in Canada. We've come up here to Canada to see the fall foliage, and we are told that we're just at the peak of the fall foliage colors. And today we're taking a tour from the port of Halifax to a place called Peggy's Cove and some of the countryside so we can see the fall colors. Now, we are sailing on Brilliance of the Seas, Royal Caribbean this week, and we have stops in Halifax, Sydney, Charlottetown, and St. John. So we have some places to see some beautiful foliage. Now, I couldn't stick my camera out the window of the tour bus that we were on, so I had to film the TV camera that was looking out the front. So the colors aren't as vibrant as they actually were in real life, but at least you get an idea. And our tour guide told us that we were probably only a day or two off the peak. So after traveling for a while, we got to this place called Peggy's Cove, which is probably one of the most photographed places in Nova Scotia, I would imagine. It's a small fishing port, mostly lobster boats here, and it's a beautiful little place. You're going to see the cove in a minute. It's a very small cove, but and the opening of it's very small to get out into the ocean, but it's a very picturesque little town. So we had about 45 minutes to wander around and take pictures. So these are some of the lobster traps that they use. They're very colorful. Looks like eye candy. We are at the very end of the tourist season. I think there's only one more ship coming in. I think Brilliance does this same trip again next week, and then that's it for the season, because it'll be essentially the end of October. So you can see the tide here probably goes up and down about 6 or 8 feet, not near the tide change of the Bay of Fundy. So we're outside of the Bay of Fundy, really on the Atlantic. And you'll see in a minute, some of the ships are actually parked on the ramp. They actually let them settle out when the tide goes out and block them up on wooden blocks. And here again, the whole wharf full of lobster traps. You can see the water line, so you can see that the tide is low right now. I don't know, maybe it's 8 or 10 feet. But this place is known for lobsters, so when you come here, you have to try lobster rolls, which we tried at a little restaurant called Hunky Dory. We went and got some lobster rolls and French fries. You can get lobster rolls and poutine with cheese curds on it. Poutine being it's kind of like French fries with gravy on top, cheese curds. Yeah, here's a picture of Hunky Dory. There's a couple of restaurants in town that serve these lobster rolls, but the other one was much closer to where the buses let off and also very crowded. So we decided to give Hunky Dory a shot, and it was good. The lobster rolls here are amazing because the lobster is so fresh. They're still catching it and serving it. So there's a picture of what a typical lobster boat looks like with a big back deck. So when they load them on, they load the traps on the back there, stack them up. And the way they do it is about 6 or 8 traps are roped together with about 100 feet of rope between the traps. And then there's a surface buoy that they pick up. And you can see on the side of that boat, there's a crane and a roller. They put the crane out. They use a boat hook to grab the first float, and then they haul that up, unload it, and then haul in the next 100 feet to get the next trap. So they could bring in 6 or 8 floats, 6 or 8 traps every time they haul up one surface float. And that boat there is sitting on that wooden ramp. So when the tide comes back in, it'll be floating again. But for now, it's just resting resting on wood and tied to the pier. But our tour guide later on in Charlottetown told us that the captains actually do the measuring of the lobsters to make sure that they're the right size. And here we went to the lighthouse, which is also a very photographed place. And for some reason, my video footage of the lighthouse got written over. But there's a picture of the lighthouse. It's on these granite rocks out there, and it's very beautiful. The pictures aren't too clear. I'm not sure they were taken with a phone, videos from an iPhone, and when I loaded them up, for some reason they're not as crisp as the other ones. But there's a sign that says careless sightseeing could cause death. But there's the ocean, and there's looking back towards the entrance to Peggy's Cove. So it's a very narrow entrance for the lobster boats to get back in. It was a beautiful day. We didn't have any rain. Weather was relatively warm, I think in the low 60s. So really had good. There's a guy playing this long horn there by the lighthouse. Anyway, tomorrow we're going to be in Sydney, Nova Scotia, and so we'll have another video for our shore excursion in Sydney. So stay tuned. This is a time lapse of us leaving Halifax on our way to Sydney and Cape Benton Island.